bakes with flavors that go straight to your head. He's a charming soul with a passion true, bringing northern charm to a southern brew. Oh, the Gringo baker has found his sweet spot, trading snowflakes for rain and enjoying it a lot. With flour on his hands and sugar in his hair, he'll make you wish that you were there. Oh, the Gringo baker has found his sweet spot, trading snowflakes for rain and enjoying it a lot. With flour on his hands and sugar in his hair, he'll make you wish that you were there. On the snowy hills where the pine trees stand tall, to a busy town where the Coquis call, he left his northern home for a noble cause. Now the Gringo baker's in a tropical on the snowy hills where the pine trees stand tall, to a busy town where the Coquis call, he left his northern home for a noble cause. Now the Gringo baker's in a tropical place, in a modern new kitchen he's mixing dough while doves sing melody, cinnamon rolls and coconut pies, sweet treats under tropical blue skies. Oh, the Gringo baker has found his sweet spot, trading snowflakes for rain and enjoying it a lot. With flour on his hands and sugar in his hair, he'll make you wish that you were there. He's got a YouTube channel by his same name, and he's sure having fun with this baking game. With the sound of the breeze and a heartfelt laugh, subscribers tune in from all the world around to see the Gringo baker in his new hometown. Well, I'll buy puree and banana bread. He bakes with flavors that go straight to your head. He's a charming soul with a passion true, bringing northern charm to a southern brew. Oh, the Gringo baker has found his sweet spot, trading snowflakes for rain and enjoying it a lot. With flour on his hands and sugar in his hair, he'll make you wish that you were there. Oh, the Gringo baker has found his sweet spot, trading snowflakes for rain and enjoying it a lot. With flour on his hands and sugar in his hair, he'll make you wish that you were there. On the snowy hills where the pine trees stand tall, to a busy town where the Coquis call, he left his northern home for a noble cause. Now the Gringo baker's in a tropical place, In a modern new kitchen, he's mixing dough while doves sing melody. Cinnamon rolls and coconut pies, sweet treats under tropical blue skies. Oh, the Gringo baker has found his sweet spot, trading snowflakes for rain and enjoying it a lot. With flour on his hands and sugar in his hair, he'll make you wish that you were there. He's got a YouTube channel by his same name, and he's sure having fun with this baking game. With the sound of the breeze and a heartfelt laugh, subscribers tune in from all the world around to see the Gringo baker in his new hometown. Well, I'll buy a puree and
Okay. Okay, good evening. Welcome to the Gringo Baker Live. I've got quite the mess going here, but we'll recover. I'm trying to get things all done here all at once. I got over here a little bit late today. Tonight we're going to make a brown sugar honey garlic glaze that we're going to put on a pork roast. And we're going to put that on the pork roast that's currently in the air fryer, which I put in the air fryer about 10 minutes ago, maybe. It's only 2 pounds, so it should cook in the time frame that we have. And I'm being a little bit confused by watching the monitor, which I should never do, but I am. So let me scroll that up out of the way. And try to get the chat working here. There we go. I think. I don't really want that. I want live chat. There we are. Okay, and then that should be working. But anyway, what we're going to do is, while that roast is cooking, we're going to make the glaze. And I made this 2 weeks ago, and I couldn't believe how good it was. And I'm not even a big fan of garlic, so the fact that it worked as well as it did kind of surprised me a little bit. But it was really, really, really good. So what we're going to do is bring the burner up here, and I have a half a stick of butter in this pan. And I don't know why this is doing this stuff tonight, but it is. And you've got me there, but you know, of course, this was working a few minutes ago. Hi, Solange. Hi, Cheryl. And that still doesn't look right. Yeah, it is. It's just not aimed right. So we'll stay with let me bring me over here where you can see me. And that smells pretty good. But you have to stir this constantly because it has so much sugar in it. And it's really heating up. And I just shut it right off. Hi, Louisa. And we have to stir this constantly because we don't want it to burn and we do want it to thicken. Oh, come on. No sound the whole time? Huh? You got your phone with you right now? You have sound right now? Huh? I can't hear you. Has everyone got no sound, I wonder? Linda says great sound and video. Huh? Oh yeah, I see that now. I'm kind of wondering what. I'm kind of wondering if that was when I was on the overhead, because now I've switched to the. This always happens when I have to keep stirring. Huh? Got sound now? Do we have sound now, people? Oh, there's somebody there I don't recognize. I couldn't begin to pronounce that username. RKYRKRDO. Welcome, even if I can't say your name. Okay, I can't see because of this dock right here. Let me see if I can move it over here. Narrow this one up. And now I'm still. Let me switch microphones and see if that makes a difference. Okay, let's see if that makes any difference at all. Yeah, I'm seeing that. Unfortunately, I can't stop stirring here. And I don't know why there is no sound because it looks like it's working. Okay, now my sound monitor is not showing me everything it should be showing me. They did an upgrade to the program recently, and when they did, instead of showing you just what you're supposed to be, your sound is, they show you every input you might be using. It's a cute graphic. Okay, let me try this on a different camera. Let's try the overhead again. Can you hear me on the overhead? Oh, wait, I can hear you now. I just saw that. How about right now? It's going to be about 20 seconds before you hear that question, but I have sound now. Okay, when the camera's pointing down at the pot like it is right now. So Now I have sound. I'll keep talking so that you guys can tell me if I have sound or not, because now it's not pointing down at the pot, it's looking at me. Cheryl, that was helpful that you told me when you couldn't see it. Okay. Oh, it's your cousin. Well then, hello, cousin. Welcome to the Gringo Baker Live. I didn't give you the temperature check. 98. I thought it was a little warm. But I have my fan behind me, my shorts on, a lightweight shirt on, and the apron instead of the t-shirt. And speaking of the apron and the t-shirt, I had a friend ask me yesterday if I sell the shirts and the t-shirts, and I do, the t-shirts and the aprons, and I do. So if anybody should ever want one, just ask, and I'll give you the details. Well, I'd whole rather, you know, while I've got it on this camera, let's see. Bear with me 1 second. Are you enjoying the show? If you are, you can be a Gringo Baker backer and support the show by buying me a cup of coffee. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you. There you go. Now, did that have sound? It should have had the music in the background, and it should have had my voice saying something. I gotta say, this is not very garlicky smelling. I added another teaspoon, but it still doesn't smell much like garlic. And I think we want it to smell more like garlic than it is, so. Not as hot as it has been in here. A week or so ago, I was working in here, it was 99.7. I was almost rooting for 100, but you know I really wasn't. Okay, we're gonna add another teaspoon of garlic, which will make 4, so hopefully it's not gonna end up being too much. You guys are not very talkative tonight. This glaze recipe started out, I decided I wanted to try a brown sugar honey glaze on a pork roast because, you know, that when you buy that spiral cut ham, that's what's on it. And I thought that would taste pretty good. So I went looking, I found a recipe with 4 ingredients, and this one has quite a few more than 4. And I just realized that one I was going to use I didn't put in yet, which is teriyaki sauce. So we're going to add about a slight teaspoon of that. And then we'll stir that all in. You will notice that I have the air fryer on the island tonight, and it's actually plugged into one of the new outlets on the end of the island that I tried to show you last week when we had also no sound because of a sound input that wasn't set up on the camera. Tonight I had one set up, it just wasn't, it went to default for some reason. We've got a really good small channel of the week this week. And we'll get to that when we get done with this glaze and put the first coat on the roast. Then it's going back in the air fryer for a few minutes. And while that's doing that, I'll play that small channel of the week feature. Tell you what, if you think 98 is hot, you should be standing right over a gas burner while it's 98 degrees behind you and around you. That is pretty warm. I got to admit, just once I wish I'd have the sound, can't hear me. Why can't you hear me? Can nobody hear me? Microphone's on. Well, for Goodness sake. Yeah, but that's the one I did replace the mic input on, and now I've switched back so you're looking at me, so you should have sound. And it's weird that you have no sound on that one because that camera actually has nothing to do with the sound. The sound goes from this microphone to a receiver on the laptop, and as long as it's set up properly, it'll work. So the fact that it was working for a little bit and then stopped working again is funky. That's apparently OBS Studio doing something weird. Okay, this is getting pretty thick. If you could see it, you could see it's leaving a trail behind the spatula, so we're going to shut the heat off. And then let's check the temperature of the roast again. Oh, it's 139. We're shooting for about 150 when it's all done. So we're getting really close to where we want to be. And we're going to time out to be done about the time that I was planning on it being done. This is going to be my dinner later, but not until after the show. Going to have my little brush, and I wish this would scroll up just a little bit further because I think there's some chat going on down underneath it that I can't quite see. There's an awful lot of yes going on there. All right. So let's put some glaze on our roast, which unfortunately you can't see me doing. Maybe if I turn this camera a little bit and turn it on.
In Brandon Osborne's kitchen, cooking isn't just dinner, it's content.
I'm not Gordon Ramsay. I'm not out here only cooking all of the time. I have a full-time job. I have 3 kids, but I also make time for this.
His channel, The Average Dad Cooking Channel, was born from a simple truth. People don't always need a perfect recipe. They just need someone who shows up.
I think a lot more people do want to chase these things, but they just don't know how to start. And so when they see me, I think it shows them, like, just start.
For Brandon, the camera started rolling after a wake-up call. At 253 pounds and exhausted, he decided something had to change.
It was tough to go outside and play with my kids, you know, and I was like, man, something's got to change here.
That pivot turned into a lifestyle, a platform, and a mission. Brandon doesn't want to just go viral. He wants to be visible for his kids, his community, and for anyone told they can't just do something because they're just average.
When I was a kid, I didn't have the best childhood, and I have 3 little ones that I take that job extremely seriously. Being a dad, being present, being there for them, showing up to sporting events, showing up to their schools, PTA conferences. Like, I don't miss anything, if at all possible.
And the impact is real, measured not in likes, but in movement. Brandon's inbox is full of stories, friends, strangers, and even family who say his videos helped them start.
I have people messaging me like all the time, people all over the country, all the way down in Louisiana and Texas, saying like, you've inspired me. You inspired me to go and do this. You inspired me to go and do this.
So what's next? More crunch wraps, more content, and more reminders that no matter your backgrounds, your dreams still matter.
The thing about being average is anybody can do above average things. You just have to put yourself out there.
Reporting in Winona, I'm Crystal Flintrop.
Okay, so no sound during that, because the sound was one of the best features of that. And while I'm waiting the 20 seconds before I can see what you guys all reply, I'm starting to make the crispy rice. What I'm doing is I put butter in the frying pan, and then I'm going to add basically a drizzle of glaze. We don't want a lot, we just want a hint. A great video sound was good. Yeah, I saw that on his channel and I said, I can't find a better one to do than that one, because that's done by a professional news station, WXOX in La Crosse, Wisconsin, and I emailed them, got permission to use it, and then I had to email them and ask them to send me the clip, because I couldn't download it from YouTube. I can download my own, I can't download anybody else's. This is just plain white rice. And I've got a little bit of butter in the pan, just enough to grease it up a little bit. And I've got some of that glaze in the pan. And we're going to stir it around so the glaze gets mixed in. And then we're going to pack it down and fry it until it gets some crispiness. I don't normally eat white rice. I can't talk tonight, do you notice? But I had some at a friend's house, and the same friend that asked about the t-shirt, as a matter of fact. And it was quite good. But then, when I made this roast before, I was curious what that glaze would be like in the rice. The rice was rice pilaf that night, and it was delicious. So I decided I would try it with white rice and see if it makes it something that I want to eat. Okay, now we've got that all patted out nice, and we're going to take another temperature check of our roast. Ooh, look how glazed that baby is. and it's done. So I'm going to shut it off, but leave it in there for a few minutes. I'll close my rice up here. I made this rice at about 11:30 last night. I was sitting there working on some of the parts of this show and realized if I wanted leftover rice, I had to make some to have it left over. We'll turn that up just a little bit. Now I'm seeing chat all the way to the bottom, but I'm not seeing it moving much. And I realize that, you know, I'm the one that should be talking, but it makes it easier when you guys are talking. It was warm here all day, so the fact that it's 98 in here tonight doesn't surprise me at all. Because it's when we lived in this house, and we had, you know, all the windows open all the time. People would come here and they would say, "Wow, it's so fresh and cool in here." But with most of the windows shut, it's anything. I've never made it before. But if with all the windows shut, it's anything but cool in here. The air doesn't move much. There's a ceiling fan over there, but it just doesn't move very fast. And this thing behind me, I don't know if you can hear it at all tonight or not. I can certainly hear it, but I'm between it and the microphone, so you may not be hearing it much. I'm being impatient here. I'm stirring it too often. I'm not getting any crispy yet. The guys that do live, oh good. The guys that do live streams where they just talk and they have the headphones on, they have it easy because they can tell if their sound goes out. I cannot. I can't have sound on here because if I have it on, you hear an echo. So we don't want that. That would be as bad as no sound and probably even more annoying. But one of these weeks, we're going to have a live stream that everything works just perfectly for the whole live stream. And it'll be a good one for people to play back. And every week, I think this is the one. But every week so far, at some point, something happens with the sound. But I think you'll agree that the sound is, when it's working, is much better than it was in most of my videos. I've got a whole different setup now than I had when I only did videos. I'm not doing many videos lately, but that's because I'm spending all my time doing things for this, getting this all set up. I'm glad you can't hear the fan because it's annoying. Because I can hear it. Anybody notice I got a haircut? It was getting pretty shaggy and it was getting pretty hot. That was part of my effort to make this a little cooler to do. We're starting to get a little crispiness now. In fact, we're starting to get a little smoke. That's what I need, heat and smoke. I'm going to call that pretty good because I've got some crispy now. Turn it down a little bit, get away from the smoke somewhat. And I brought enough water tonight so that my voice shouldn't sound like I'm speaking from the bottom of a gravel pit like it did last week. Okay, that's done. And now I'm gonna wish I had like a fork over here, which I don't. But I do have a spoon. Let's let this cool just a couple seconds and then I'm gonna take a taste of it. I think if I had an 8-foot square island, I'd still end up making a mess of it. Truthfully, I didn't put enough of the glaze in it. Ouch. Because it's still pretty bland. Okay, I do have a fork. I also have some difficulty getting the paper off of the roast. No. Yeah, I guess that's the best view you're gonna see of the roast. And I'm going to get a knife and I'm gonna take a taste of it. And hopefully it's as good as it was when I made it the first time. Okay, here we go. Mm-hmm. It is really, really, really good. Okay, so how come Linda says the sound is awesome, the video is great too, and Maria says can't hear you? Oh, okay. And Cheryl says I have sound, he's just concentrating and not talking, I think. Looks great. So can you hear me now? It's really good. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Good. I'm glad you can. And this roast is incredible. Well, if I went down the list of stuff that didn't work tonight, yeah, she'll have some tomorrow. She won't eat it tonight anyway. If I went down the list of stuff that didn't work tonight, it'd be longer than the list of stuff that did, I think. My Chromebook, which has the script that I don't follow anyway on it, it's sitting there with a black screen. The overhead camera microphone, well, I say microphone for that, but the link to the sound wigged out twice. And I guess that's not too bad because that's really only a couple of things. I'll live with that. Okay, so let's see. I would tell you what next week's recipe is going to be, except I don't know yet. I don't have a clue. I haven't given it any thought. But it'll be something and it'll be good. It probably won't be better than this roast is, but it'll be good anyway. Really good. So Cheryl, it doesn't look like Jim made it tonight. And the funny thing about vinegar, if you don't cook it long enough, it is extremely front in the flavor. But once it cooks to the right point, you don't taste it. You just get a little acid, but it's not a vinegar taste at all. He's a crazy. I was, Linda, I was thinking about. I found a recipe for KFC copycat extra crispy chicken, and I was thinking I might try that. I bought a gallon of oil for the deep fryer, and so I might give that a shot next week. But I'll tell you now, I think it sounds good right now, but during the week something else might come up that sounds even better. So there's a good chance it will be crispy chicken though. What do you think I should have with that? Because, well, once again, it's going to be my dinner after the show is over, because I don't eat beforehand because that's way too early. Plus, I don't get around to eating lunch very early on these days because, like this morning, I got up and I started working on the computer, and I think I had lunch about 2 o'clock, so not really too terribly hungry even now. Next week, I do know, I have to think about it a minute, but I do know what the small channel of the week is. I know what it is. Oh, that would be good. The small channel of the week next week is going to be a low-carb keto channel. I've already got her video. I just have to put it together with my theater curtains. It doesn't take very long now that I've done it a couple times. And she'll be next week, and then I don't know further out than that just yet. I knew you'd like that. But if you guys have any type of channel you'd like to see, like Marilyn might like to see some low sugar and no sugar stuff, I would assume. Maybe I can find that. That's what I'd like to try to do, is to get channels that you might not have seen before, that I think have good quality, and I think you'll like them. So that's what I go by. But I am open to suggestions. And unless you guys got a lot to say, I don't think I have anything to say, and I'm going to stand here rambling. I'm happy I did that feature. That came about because I was going to have a live guest, and then his schedule got so busy that he wasn't going to be able to make it unless we did it a different night, and I've kind of committed to Sunday nights at 6:30. So we would have had to postpone him for a long time, but that left me with a few minute slot in that show that I had to come up with something to fill it. And I had this idea, and I posted in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, and asked if anybody would be interested in doing that, if I did that on my live show, and I got some response. So then I started doing it last week, or is this the third one? This is the third one. And I like doing it. And so it'll continue. And it's usually going to be, tonight was a little bit longer than the last two were. Usually it's going to be, the video clip I play is going to be about a minute, but that one from the news station was 2 minutes. And I decided that between Brandon and the news person, they speak more eloquently than I do, so I decided I would let that run for 2 minutes. I'm not real fond of the sound of my own voice. I'm getting used to it, but I'm not real fond of it. Okay, I guess that might gonna be it for the evening. So thank you all for coming by. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't show you the crew, so that they're important people. Okay, I'm back again, and I have to keep going back to the chat. And let's see. Thank you. I'm hoping to. All right. So we'll see you next week.
On the snowy hills where the pine trees stand tall, to a busy town where the Tokies